pushing and shoving after the whistle. Everyone getting into it. Some words being exchanged. But what I can tell you is that the Cougars are 6-3 winners and start their playoff drive with a 6-3 win. Oh, Sobry now, and oh my goodness, him and Sparks are really getting into it as the temper's flaring after game one. It continues here. Yakutsanak is going to the Cougar bench, and he's hurt.
The Prince George Cougars scored 3 unanswered goals in the third period. They would score 3 times onto the power play, and they win their 9th consecutive game. This time, the biggest of those 9, because it's a playoff victory in front of 5,469 fans. The Cougars have scored a convincing 6-3 victory over Spokane, out shooting the Chiefs 40.
Looking to Lee Jamieson, who is leveled by Pushenichka. And Pushenichka will be challenged by both Dufour and Jamieson. Now Dufour is going to be hit from behind by Ben Miller. DuPont and Smith are going to grab onto Ben Miller. DuPont will be wrapped up by Pushenichka. Dufour and Dominichelli will wrap up. The initial hit was thrown on Jamieson. Dufour jumped to his defense, and then Dufour was leveled from behind by Pushenichka. Carson Dick is desperately trying to drag himself away from the clutches of the referee like a dog tugging on the leash. And he wants to jab at Taryn Smith. And we said at the very top of the broadcast, game ones are often the nastiest. And with the score heavily favoring the Silvertips, the Winterhawks want to give the Tips something to think about for the next 6 games.
Klimke for Saskatoon to the right wing side, trying to drive it wide. There was Olsen, got tripped up, the referees say, and now some pushing and shoving with Klimke and a few Oil Kings, and that'll draw a bit of a crowd. And well, the playoffs are here. A rivalry may be starting to form with Edmonton and Saskatoon.
It's a tough one, Matty B. It looked to me like maybe Noah Tamu stick just, from this angle it's hard to tell. Officials are down there, but from up here, not sure if it interrupted the stride as much as maybe he let off for it to be, and now things are getting a little crazy.
Well, they're sending Tamu to the box, and now...
Yeah, I'd love to see another look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So hard to judge without seeing the replay. Maybe that's where things got a little heated, where maybe some of the Oil Kings were asking him if maybe got a little slippery for him, so I'm not sure.
I think they're going to send a few extra bodies to the box as well after the skirmish.
Well, in playoffs, you have rivalries, right? You have familiarities. Not a lot of rivalry on the head-to-head side of this, but obviously they played 4 times during the year.
Well, flipping out of his own zone, Saunderson gloves it down, but Parasak takes it away. Here he comes, up the left wing, fire save, rebounds held on the goaltender as they're 0-3. Chiefs take a shot at Brock Such, and that draws a crowd in front of the Spokane goaltender.
And there's a little bit of pushing and shoving, and Foster maybe getting into it this time with Armstrong, but nothing gonna materialize there. Don't think so. Hey, Perzak had that chance, stole the puck down the left wing. Esser makes the save and wisely covered up as Perzak delivered. We're gonna get coincidental minors here, so that's gonna be 4-on-4, a little bit more room. Such is going to the box, and we just talked about the Prince George boy with Spokane, Harrington. We talked about him leading the team in penalty minutes, and where is he going? To the penalty box with coincidental minors. So it was just after the 4-on-4 last time.
Deep as the Silvertips get a forward line change. He'll pursue his own dump in. Vaughn throws a heavy hit in the corner, and he'll be jumped onto. Gloves are dropped. Jackson Vaughn wrapping up Griffin Darby in the corner. Darby taking exception to the hit. Vaughn will come over the top, wrap up Darby. Darby trying to come underneath with a couple uppercuts. They're entangled, not much space. Vaughn will grab him in a headlock, and the officiating crew will step in. The initial hit by Vaughn was going to be penalized. We'll see if Darby picks up anything else. And Jackson Vaughn will salute the crowd. And Vaughn, who was voted by the Everett Silvertips Booster Club as the Fierce Predator Award winner, a coveted award that has been given to numerous tough players. Carter Bear won it last year. If you want to flash it back to 2010, Radko Gudas, once upon a time, was the winner of that award. And a Gudas-esque hit in the corner as Vaughn leveled Darby from behind, and we'll see what the official penalty delineation is. This is an important call to see if Darby, who could potentially get an instigation for the retaliation.
And now here's maybe a breakaway pass knocked down the wrong side. Cohen Harris shoots, and it's stopped by Ravensburgen at the goal line. And then Hughes is looking for an extra whack, and the Cougars say no, and that draws a crowd once again.
That was the first shot for Spokane in the period. We have more pushing and shoving going on, but Harris was in on a breakaway, but he never really contained that long feed pass. And as a result, he was sort of the puck just sort of dragged into Ravensburgen. We're getting a Prince George penalty here.
There's a Spokane one too, I believe.
Right. Okay. Roughing and roughing. Right. So Sobry's going for Prince George.
And a Remba for Spokane.
And a Remba for Spokane. So again, this came after the whistle. We've talked so much in this game about how so much is happening after the whistle.
It into the to the blade zone, far side. Doyle will chop it off the glass. Now we're gonna have a fight here. It's gonna be Matt Williams gonna go up against Gavin Clark. They'll grab on a couple of heavy rights early. A right from Williams misses, a right from Clark connects, and down they go. A quick fight, but one to maybe inject some energy into this game. Matt Williams and Gavin Clark.
14 penalty minutes for Matt Williams in the regular season, 32 for Gavin Clark. Not known for chucking ducks, as Guy Flaming would say. Maybe he doesn't, but that is one of those moments where each coach says, we need some juice.
Yeah.
Right?
DuPont will get the secondary. Rudig clips a man up high. Nathan Brown's going to drop the gloves and go after Rudig. Rudig upended Sam Spihar in the neutral zone, clipped him with an elbow. And Rudig, the former Winterhawk, will be grabbed onto by Nathan Brown, with whom there was no overlap. Sukumis and Reese Jameson do-si-doing at center ice. And Spihar signaling from the neutral zone, as is Nathan Brown in the penalty box, signaling the elbow that they felt that Rudig threw. Duke Gould leads in on the left side willfully. Weak shot is gloved out of the air by Anders Miller, and he'll hang on. And willfully got a little too close to Miller, and now Landon DuPont will grab on top of him. And I believe there's at least one penalty. I think this may be going to DuPont.
Doobie's effort, stick lift on Chichkin, gets it loose, and now Doobie, wraparound attempt, that stop, rebounds loose in front, and Condro dives out of his net to cover that one up and stop play, and now Evan Smith and Poole Anderson are exchanging shots behind the goal line, pushing and shoving. I think one of the officials is looking to call a penalty here.
Well, we've got two Red Deer Rebels in on top of Smith as well, as the second Rebel came in on top, and that was Beckett Hamilton coming in, as there was no doubt Smith and Anderson were definitely engaged.
So what do we got going in the box here? Looks like one from each here. Beckett Hamilton is all the way back at his bench and doesn't realize.
Gardner, as he picked it from the circle off the scramble, and Lee tried to hold it in, and then he gets run over on the near side. Him and Harsani kind of wrestle. That's going to draw a crowd. We'll see if there's a penalty that comes from it.
And both groups a little less excited to get in, push and shove, throw a jab. They're just grabbing a dance partner and keeping everybody to the outside. I don't think either group wants to put either player down. Lee was outside the zone. He tried to force his momentum back in when he gloved it down, but he was outside, so he wasn't able to hold the line. Not sure, so it looks like Lee's going to the box for Edmonton, and Saskatoon it'll be one player aside. So 5-on-5, the official Landon Hansen. Hansen a good delivery.
Boards, and now Shergott's hit by Armstrong. Puck remains loose in below the goal line, and the horn's going to sound to end period number 2. And then a Cougar got hammered to the ice, and that's going to be a penalty to Spokane.
Another undisciplined.
And I think we're going to be 4-on-4 for the 1 millionth time this evening.
Yeah. Again, Spokane, if that's the case, you know, we'll have to wait and see how this is going to sort out. It comes with 1:03 left in that Prince George penalty to Sobry.
Oh boy, that's a scary play.
Let's see on the replay here. Oh yeah, no question about it. That's a lack of discipline on the part of
Matthews, who lost his helmet. Maybe stayed out there a little too long with time ticking away in this first period. Oil Kings and Blades in game 1, some pushing and shoving after the first. Halinka got kind of tied up there with Jack Kaczkowski, and the referees have to come in and separate everybody.
What do you mean there's no animosity?
No.
These teams haven't played in the playoffs before. We've seen a fight. We've seen
And
what?
that brings us to the end of the first period. This score after 20 minutes of play sits at 1 for the Saskatoon Blades, 0 for your Edmonton Oil Kings.
Pashinichka, heavy battle in front. Duguay towards the net. That's wide. Miller is taken out in the crease, and there's going to be offsetting penalties coming against Portland and Everett. Terrence Smith locked arm in arm in front of the Silvertip net. Miller was spilled down twice. Hunter Rudolph grabbed onto by Pashinichka. Chasko is underneath the pile-up. And there's at least 2 penalties that are going to come as Terrence Smith and Ryan Miller, the 2 captains, doing battle in the corner. We'll sort through the penalties when we come back. Sound Transit Tipsaki, KRKO and Victory Plus.
Merrick Howell, and the Chiefs get it back. Owen Shetler collides there with Hayden Foster as they exchange words back and forth. Are they going to go? Here we go. Hayden Foster and Owen Shetler. A game-wide tilt here at CN Center. Hayden Foster and Owen Shetler get ready here at center ice, and here we go. Foster a good right on Shetler. Shetler swings and misses. Oh, a big right from Foster. Foster has that right hand clock back. Shetler loses balance, and Foster will bring Shetler to the ice.
well 2:56 into this hockey game. Aiden Foster is 2/3 to a Gordie Howe hat trick. Listen to him get this crowd all pumped up. He has a goal for Prince George, he has a fight. Now he has the rest of the game to get an assist to complete.
Puck battle ensues behind the goal of Switzer. Comes free to Karimov. Wraparound attempt saved by Switzer. He'll be banging away at it and finally able to cover it as Karimov going back and forth with Muhanen, and it looks like the Tigers are heading to a power play.
We'll see if they end up just taking Karimov or if Muhanen also goes, but like the jam out of Ruslan Karimov, who was originally the 6th overall pick in the CHL import draft back in 2024 by the Sarnia Sting out of the OHL, and found his way to Regina and just has a lot of intensity, a lot of grit, a lot of drive to his game.
Holds, the coach like, he's got to shoot, he goes up top, he ran out of time, Gazelski the buzzer, and it's stopped by Essler, and then Gazelski had some stick work, and now everyone grabs a dance partner. I don't really know if there was any need to get into it as there's a buzzer beater shot from Gazelski, but the playoff feel is so here in Prince George.
Well, I think Spokane was upset because they thought the period had expired when he let that shot go. So that's why they weren't happy about that. But I will tell you, that was one physical period. That was one intense period. That was back and forth. You talk about playoff feeling, matchup.
Swain, it comes to Orshulak, who covers it up. He'll stop play. You can't hear the whistle go. We might have a fight going here. Sarkinov has the gloves off with Tyson Yaremko, but they're not letting him go.
Yeah, I missed it. It was so far back behind the play, but Sarkinov and Yaremko definitely tangled up down here. Gloves are down on the ice, but